Welcome to Asturias. We're here in Sarriega, one of the municipalities of Asturias in the north of Spain. And we're here to see the two-star International Grand Prix, the first edition in the amazing stud farm of Maeza here in Asturias. And first to go for us, there's already been 26 horses have gone at this stage, only 2 clears. And now we have Ismael Roque, and he's riding La Costa. Ismael originally from the Canary Islands, rider for the Sergio Moya stable. So we'll check this track with one of the top combinations here, the national champion in 2019, and typical track of Javier Tenor, which we're well familiar to. Delicate, not over testing for the horses, but not easy to jump a clear round. Fences have been falling a little bit in various places. There's no real bogey, but plays a lot with distances of 6 and 7 strides. So he's coming to the last line with a vertical to the combination. The back part of the oxer has come down quite a bit. So coming on a clear round, and now joining the 2 other clears is Ismael Garcia Roque riding La Costa. So we'll see him at the jump off, and we can say a little bit more about this horse, previously ridden by Emma Stoker and by Jos Verlooy. So we've 3 clears. The 2 previous clear was Rocio Alonso, and she was riding her Infamia del Amor, which we saw in Santander a couple of weeks back, and Jesus Carmendia riding Callas, another national champion. So they really have to be jumped. So a little bit more about Maeza. As you can see, this is a beautiful area. Weather a little forecast, but very pleasant, ideal weather for show jumping. So next for us is number 28. It's Jacobo Fontan Garcia, and he's riding Colter. This horse won a 2-star Grand Prix in Casas Novas in 2019, and last weekend was a winner of the Ascor Trophy. Previously ridden by Portuguese rider Antonio Almeida. So unfortunately already the fence down. Yeguada Maeza is a newly established stud farm, established around 2012, and is also a sports center with its very modern facilities, owned and run by the family Pares Maestre. Middle of the combination down, and coming in with a total of 8 falls for Jacobo Garcia. So as you can see, it's not exactly warm, but ideal weather for the horses. Asturias, which is on the Camino de Santiago. You can see it's very rich land, beautiful oak trees, and also very famous for all its orchards with apple trees. Asturias, where cider is very much the drink. It's a beef fattening area as well. So next into the ring is again for Spain, Roy Rabon, and he's riding Enjoy. He's a 2019 young rider champion, and won a class here last weekend at the first week of this competition. Delicate planks here. And a little bit flat coming into the combination. Now back to the three glass fences. And, coming out of this combination has caused quite a lot of falls here. Again, enjoy going to a fault there, and also coming in 8 falls. So still just 3 clears. And flat into his combination, bellied the boxer out. Time has also been a factor here, so they are a little bit pressure. So next is a very well known Ivan Saez, which we'll remember from Rotterdam, European champion, where he rode Tam Tam du Vallon, and here today he's riding Admiral. Going to the third. Stop. I think Ivan is indicating that he's retiring. I think the horse lost a shoe when he stepped on his shoe. Ivan, who was the winner of the Grand Prix in Santander. Always very competitive. Admiral is a Spanish-bred horse. And was recently third in the Grand Prix in Paris at the national show. So Ivan wisely deciding to retire. The horse having lost the front shoe. So next into the ring we have another strong combination. And a member of the Spanish team for many years now. It's there he is. It's Julio Arias Cueva, and he's riding Carolina de Beaufour. Was third in a good class yesterday. Julio, based in Belgium, and this horse here, bred by Eric de Balvois, by Diamant Semillé. So one, there's a 7 stride to the oxer, number 2, 8 stride then to this oxer. You can do it in 7 as well if one cuts the corner a little bit, but normally an 8 stride around the corner to this oxer here, 6 strides to a vertical, turning back, a vertical, and then 7 strides to the double, and a 7 stride to this oxer again. And a very typical Javier course where The dog legs one has little options depending on the horse to go a little wider or a little bit sharper to make up the distance. Fortunately, fence down there, and coming in on 8 folds for Julio. So still, after 30 horses, still only just 3 clears, but the ranking of the riders is getting a little higher as we're getting down the list of the horses, so I think we can still expect with 11 combinations to go, 10 combinations to go, I think we can expect at least 2 or 3 more clear rounds at the bottom end of this class. But a short of a jump off with already 3 strong contenders, especially with Jesus Garmendia as part of that. Now, another young rider and a member of the Spanish team over the recent years and junior and young rider competition. This is Alex Cody Naleria, and he's riding Acufina PS. Acufina PS, bred Louis Stud, Paul Schockemöller, and this one by Action Breaker. Action Breaker, of course, the stallion that was produced by Sergio Moya here in Asturias, and used quite a lot by Paul Schockemöller. And Action Breaker, a stallion with a future as a sire as well. Unfortunately, I stopped there. Hit 4 folds for Alex. This was a 9-year-old. It was an unfortunate fault there. For Alex, horse jumped otherwise very well. Just come around the corner. So next into the ring is very talented and effective rider Kevin Gonzalez Hernandez, and he's riding the Air Jordan's Atlantic Z, previously written by Manuel Agnon, and has been written by Kevin since 2019. Kevin is extremely competitive and effective rider. Has to do quite a bit of work to motivate Atlantic. Still clear. Coming to the last line. Yes. And coming in to be probably the 4th clear. Yes, 4th clear for Kevin. He will deserve it. So Maeza, as you can see, is a very modern beautiful modern facility. They have about 70 animals here, 10 foals annually, and a very welcome addition to this part of the world, which is always has been a very top breeding area for sport horses here in Spain, and probably something that with the advent of embryo transfer, artificial insemination, etc., would only grow bigger, because it's a beautiful area for raising horses. So next is Eric van der Vleuten Jr., and he's riding a horse that's very new to him, Licero Saint-Hubert. It's only the second show. Last weekend was the first show that Eric Jr. rode this horse, and been ridden as a young horse by Rodney Sharp and also by Rodrigo Almeida for Portugal. Eric, who's also been riding a horse that one has seen much with his father, called Joost again. Having a lovely round with this new horse to him. So coming clear to the last fence, and this being our fifth clear now, so certainly plenty of clears appearing on this track. Eric understandably delighted with the round of Licero Saint-Hubert. So next in the ring is for Spain, very experienced and competitive rider in Spain, Borja Villalón Puras, and he's riding Utwo Elatione by Apache d'Adrier. Apache d'Adrier, of course, the sire of a mare that jumped a lot for Spain, Madame Pompadour, also ridden by Sergio for a while. Moria, which we had it in jump off a couple of weeks back in the Santander Grand Prix, here trying to join the other five for this €25,500 Maeza Grand Prix. Fortunately, 4 folds coming down to the last line. Still clear, and fast time, but unfortunately 4 folds for Borja Puras. So at this stage we have 5 combinations left to go. 6 actually combinations left to go, and just at the moment the 5 clears being Rocio Alonso, Jesus Garmendia, Ismael Garcia, Kevin Gonzalez, and Eric van der Vleuten Jr. Now, another of the top effective Spanish riders in Carlos Lopez Van Hul, and he's riding Ashane Villarose, a daughter of Utrilo Z. Again, numerous time member of a very good member, very strong member of the Spanish Nation Cup national team. Was placed in the Grand Prix fourth here last weekend. And this little mare is of the same family as the Kelmoy Pepita, which we'd all remember with Michel Robert. Very suitable to the tracks of Javier, because these horses that are very rideable and careful. This mare has all those qualities, and is also brilliantly ridden by Carlos. And there we have it. There's our sixth clear for Carlos Lopez Van Hul, joining Eric, Kevin Gonzalez, Ismael Roque, Jesus Garmendia, and Rosia. So the competition is hotting up a little bit, and not going to be that easy to go home with 8,500 euros for the winner of this class, of this 25,500 euro class of the Grand Prix de Maeza. So now in the ring we have very much the local star, Leonardo Medal Garcia, who breeds and produces horses here in Asturias. Extremely competitive, and has been the outstanding Asturian rider, apart of Sergio, that's maybe at a bigger height, but nationally and internationally an extremely effective rider. Unfortunately, second fence down. Medal has produced numerous horses. This horse again bred locally by Rafael Garcia. Last year, Medal was third in the Grand Prix in Gijón. Gijón, of course, is Nations Cup show here in Asturias, Spanish Nations Cup show. Little misunderstanding there on the approach. This horse is actually out of a action breaker mare, as said, bred here locally in Asturias. Oops. Some horses just find it getting out of the combination just a bit long, so ended up a bit of a schooling round for Medal, but he'll be back. Another of Spanish consistent, outstanding young rider. European champion at some stage. Gonzalo Añón Suarez, one of the two Añón brothers, and he's riding the 17-year-old Clam d'Ivray. Clam d'Ivray has been competing with the Añón family since 2012. It's a credit to them that they were able to keep the horse fresh and competitive over so many years, and a testimony to their management and care. Originally from La Coruña, from Galicia, now they have their base in Madrid. And coming in on the clear to the last line. Horse jumped at the highest level, jumped many 160 classes, and coming in clear and joining 6 others. So we have now seven clears to compete in the jump off here for the Maeza Grand Prix. This Maeza Grand Prix is given a great opportunity to see all the young talent, upcoming talent in Spain. Here's another one of the top young riders in Leticia Rivaril. Leticia, who actually will be on the Spanish team on the 23rd as she's under 25, but she'll be the team member there at the final Nations Cup of the second league. She's Spanish champion of young rider in 2016. She's been riding this since March 2020. Victoria d'Argent by Nabab Derev. Previously written in France by Cyril Bouvard, which won a 4-star Grand Prix. And it's had a Grand Prix placing in 3-star CIOs with Leticia. So a fresh combination, but one full of promise. Leticia, who's been combining an academic career with her riding, was based in the UK for a while. Fortunately, got just a bit flat on that vertical and took the top rail. And just coming in on 4 faults there for Leticia. So, just 2 to go, and next in the ring is a rider that has had a wonderful weekend here in Maeza, and a couple of weekends actually, has nearly been in the money in every class. So just look back at some of the jumps of Leticia here. Fortunately, to get in front there, the delicate vertical. So Next into the ring and second last to go is for Luxembourg. It's Victor Bettendorf, and he's riding Atomique de la Roque by Canaan out of an Adelphos mare. As mentioned, Victor from riding for Luxembourg, based actually in the Haras de la Roque of the Eka family in Normandy, and has had a tremendous weekend. Never been out of the money and won a couple of classes. And he's here going with this Atomique de la Roque. The Bettendorf family, who very much the leading show jumping family in Luxembourg. There are 3 siblings actually jumping internationally. Atomique jumping very well. Interestingly, this Canaan mare is of the family of Rockefeller de Pleville, horse of Edu Aznar. Edu, who's off to Tokyo, but not with Rockefeller, with his other top horse called Legend. So coming in on the clear round is Victor Bettendorf, and will very much be the favorite to take this class, judging on the present form. As mentioned, he's never been out of the money here all weekend. And joining the 7 other clears, so we now have 8 for what promised to be an extremely competitive jump off. We're jumping so last to go in all honor is Asturias all-time great Sergio Moya, and Sergio is riding a new horse for him called Incredible Blue, Sirocco Blue, out of a Diorado mare, previously written by Anne-Claire Breton for Canada, and a recent addition to Sergio's stable, and jumped it in Saint-Tropez and at Kronenberg, and in Kronenberg last weekend jumped 3 days and 3 days in the money. Still a young horse, 8-year-old. Oh, fortunately fence down, so will not join the jump off. Sergio, very much from Asturias, now based in Madrid. Coming down to the last line on 8 with this very promising young horse, Incredible Blue by Sirocco Blue out of Gerardo. And coming down to the last with 3 fences down, 12 faults. So we get ready now for the jump off over a shortened course. And there you have the 8 clears in the order of starting. Rocio Alonso, Jesus Garmendia, a very fast rider. Ismael equally fast. So first to go on the shortened course is Rosio Lazaro Alonso, and she's riding Infamia del Amor. 9-year-old mare. Spanish bred. So we'll discover the jump off with Rosio. Rosio, which we saw in Santander, also in the Grand Prix of the jump off, is very competitive. This Infamia del Amor is a very scopy horse, which on smaller arenas and quite a twisty jump off can be sometimes a slight disadvantage. So starting off with what was number 4, a vertical. Then goes 5, the Oxer, 6, turning back to 7, short turn back to 7. Fortunately, top pole back. It took away the little plank from the top and put a pole, which makes it slightly easier. Now turning back to an Oxer. Skinny Oxer as it is. 2 last parts of the combination, and then turning to the last fence. So coming in on 4 falls in 43.30 for Rossia. Fast time, but probably beatable time. Not a whole lot of places where one can win a lot of time, and not a galloping track as such, more of a twist and turn jump off. So this was the first of our 8 horses in the jump off. And next is another new combination, and this is one of the fastest riders on the circuit. It's Jesus Garmendia, and he's riding Callas, 2 times Spanish champion, been twice at the World Equestrian Games, 2006, 2010, and here he's riding a horse previously ridden by Swedish rider Hanna Ackerblom, and it's been with Jesus since April, so extremely fast rider. Seconds landing off that Oxer. Just had to make it a bit too much distance, had to take him back and had the fence down behind. Very unfortunate, but a very, very, very fast time of 38.15. I would say that time is mostly not going to be improved, but unfortunately would force her down, and this was a very competitive rider. This horse jumping extremely well for him. And Ackerblom, if I'm correct, is based in Barcelona, so Jesus would be familiar with his horse before taking over the ride. Now, from one very competitive rider to another, it's Ismael Garcia Roque riding La Costa. And with Ismael since February of this year. Was previously written both by Jos Fuloy and Emma Stoker. Has been placed in 160s with Ismail, including a third in the 160 Grand Prix. So this horse is well able for this. And Ismail, again, both effective and competitive rider. Rides for the Sergio Moya stable. This horse jumped very impressively the first round. Yeah, just a little slower, but not much slower than Jesus Carmendia. Just steadying in that line. It's and coming in on a clear round in 49.90. So at this stage, going in the lead. Ismael, who's as mentioned, Spanish champion 2019, and will be on the Spanish squad in Warsaw for the final of the Second League Nations Cup on the 25th of July, and the understudy of Sergio Moya. So Ismael in a strong position there. And next is next in the ring is Kevin Gonzalez Hernandez riding Atlantic Zed. We'll remember the first round was a bit of a struggle. Second fence down. It's 14-year-old by Air Jordan. As you can see in the distance there to the double, they haven't got much choice to change the distance, restrict them from trying to go too much forward, which was a little bit the problem with Jesus, who made too much distance and then had to pull the horse back and caused him to have the vertical down. So coming in on 4 faults and 40.91. So still at the moment Ismael well in the lead with a clear round in 41.9. So next should be Eric. Yeah, that's it. Eric Jr. Eric van der Vleuten, and he's riding Licero Saint-Hubert. Licero Saint-Hubert, a 10-year-old by Cicero van Pammel, out of a Liz de Drammen mare. Looks that Eric is maybe going for a schooling round rather than to try and beat the time. Double clear round most probably would leave one in good money at this stage. Yeah, Eric's not worrying about the clock. He's just trying to have another nice clear round with this new horse to him. And there he is. With a clear round, but 2 time falls for Eric and Lisero Saint-Hubert. So Ismael still in the lead. And just 3 left to go. And Ismail has every reason to still be a little bit worried because there are 3 speed merchants and highly competitive combinations that are coming into the ring. And first of them is Carlos Lopez Fanjul. Carlos was a member of the Spanish team in the Nations Cup in Montemedio in 2020. Was 4th in the Grand Prix here last weekend. And this year alone, he's already been placed in 3 Grand Prix. With a Shane Villarose, an 11-year-old mare. So, time to beat 41.9. Has to land around the 20 of the natural oxer there. I think he's faster there, he turns very quickly, so now he should land 20 and he's 19, so he's in touch. Good turn there too. Yeah, one has to wait a little bit. That's it. Brilliantly clear over that and coming down to the last and clear and coming in at 39.16, so well ahead and well into the lead. And really putting it up to the last 2. This mare, extremely handy. It's going to be a big task for Gonzalo. This horse is a big, long-strided horse, but should be well within the reach of Victor Bettendorf between his form and the type of horse he's riding, and last to go. So just 2 to go. And at the moment in the lead is Carlos Lopez Fanjul and riding Shane Villarose in a time of 39.16. Remembering that of the natural oxer halfway the course, they should be landing around 19 seconds. So, this horse been plenty of Grand Prix. Been in this situation before. To take on this track of Javier Tenor is Gonzalo Agnon riding Clam d'Ivray. Good turn. A little bit behind on the clock there, landed at 20, so he's 1 second behind. Again, a good turn. This is difficult here, one has to wait. Unfortunately got too deep in the oxer and had it down, and coming in on still a very good time of 40.02, which is a very good time given that this horse is a big, long-striding horse and a very twisty course, but beautifully ridden by Gonzalo, who's very much of a speed specialist. Unfortunately, 1 down, and coming in on 4 faults for Gonzalo. So, just one rider between the first prize for Carlos Lopez and the trophy, and it's Victor Bettendorf for Luxembourg, the very informed Victor Bettendorf, riding this Atomique de la Roque Canaan, bred by the Hekar family of Rockefeller de Pleville, and Suspect d'Auge, written by Julien Despaillard, and an incredible fast horse, usual Suspect d'Auge. So, last to go, and having to try to beat the time of 39.16 is Victor Bettendorf for Luxembourg, riding Atomique de la Roque. Last to go. Little down. Sharp there. And in 40.02, so not just quite making the time. So going into second place, and still a beautiful weekend, fantastic weekend, or 2 weekends for Victor Bettendorf, going home with the second prize, which is 5,000 plus euro. So an extremely good weekend. So the Maeza Grand Prix, we have a podium. First is for Spain, Carlos Lopez Vanjul, riding a Shane Villarose on clear 39.16. Second, Victor Bettendorf with Atomique de la Roque on clear 40.02. Haven't quite put it up right there on the scoreboard, but second he is, and third is Ismael Garcia Larocque. So going for the prize is there is Van Hol, and he's going to take the prize from Cruz Maestre, and in front of the precinct is Cruz Maestre, the co-owner of this wonderful facility. Wonderful facility from which me, Alan Storm, is greeting you, and hope to see you soon. Christina Barres giving the second prize to Victor Bettendorf. And until next time, from Asturias, hope to see you soon.